Well, 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 look who made it to the big boy desk. It's a new year here on MU180, and we are ready to give you more accurate and dependable news for the upcoming year. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zach Myers. For those of you who don't know, last year I reported on the wonderful world of sports, but no more. I have made it to the desk, and my first official act of anchor was to fire everyone. All the old producers, gone. Remember the old anchor, Kevin Ellis? Adios, muchacho. What about the field reporter, Kevin Landgraf? Peace out. Well, I decided to keep Marco, Trayvon, and Gil, but no one has seen them anywhere. So get ready, Marquette. We are in for a long roller coaster ride here on MU180. We begin with a story out of Idaho, where a wedding took place last weekend between a brother and a sister. It was a special ceremony marking the 10,000th wedding between the siblings of the 21st century. The mayor was on hand to celebrate the historic event and said that he was hoping that he and his sister Florence would be the 10,001st wedding. As usual, the whole town celebrated with a run of the nude, where, you guessed it, everyone runs down the street nude in the hopes that someone may see what they like and help increase the town's dwindling population. Moving on, we now have a story straight out of the business world. A new report suggests that within the first minute of a poor interviewer, the employer already knows at least 3 deadly attacks they want to impose on the candidate. Most likely, this stems from the first question of an interview, tell me about yourself, in which case the candidate tells the most boring story that the employer could not care less about, which the candidate saved 3% on paper sales by sending out a memo to the other employees about the importance of a good conscience created by saving paper. The report goes on to say that the most common deadly attacks the interviewer wants to employ are stitching the candidate's mouth together with needles, stabbing the candidate in the voice box, and cutting out the candidate's tongue. Ooh, that's a rough world. On over to the technology world, as Apple recently unveiled their new iPhones to be released later this week. They unveiled the 2 new iPhones with the 5S and the 5C. The S in the 5S stands for super expensive, whereas the C in the 5C stands for cheap crap. Last week, Minneapolis Airport was rated the best airport in the country to have a layover in. I have only been to this airport once, and it was my layover right after a red-eye flight. I mean, yeah, they had some nice coffee, and I got a muffin to fill my stomach at 6 in the morning. But would I say it was the best airport to have a layover in? No. Las Vegas is a fantastic airport to have a layover in. Booming with free Wi-Fi and advanced cuisine such as Burger King, Las Vegas is a very cozy city to have a layover. And if you are looking to lose some money, there are slot machines everywhere. What a fantastic way to make the time fly in Sin City. And since you only have a limited time before your flight leaves, this eliminates the amount of money that you can really lose in your stay. Now, if we want to talk worst airport to have a layover in, do I have a story for you. Never, and I mean never, have a layover in Kansas City. I have flown through there exactly 1 time, and I guarantee you it will be the last time I fly through. I mean, this airport sucks. There is no food past security. That's right, none. The bathrooms are single bathrooms, so there are lines out the door and way beyond. There's one little snack shop selling pretzels for $40 a bag because they know that you can either A, starve, or B, buy the ridiculously overpriced and undersalted pretzels to hold you over before you reach paradise, which is any city that isn't Kansas City. Want a place to sit down in the Kansas City airport? Too bad. All the chairs are taken. Want Wi-Fi in the Kansas City airport? Ha! Think again. You should have thought of that before booking a flight through their airport. The Kansas City airport is also being investigated for imprisoning their customers. More on that later. We'll be back with weather after this short commercial break. Now would be the point in time where I would send it on over to Marco with the weather, but unfortunately he is out this week battling a severe case of athlete's foot. So instead, I've done my best to give you some accurate weather. I have never done the weather before, but let's just pretend like I'm a professional at it. It's beginning to look a lot like fall, which means we are only one season away from the worst season of all, winter. This winter, I see sadness and depression in the air as we see yet another winter that just never wants to end. Winter is like that one relative that you have to see because they are family and you know they're going to come around at the same time every year, but you wish in every bone of your body that they would go away and leave you alone. There's always those weird people that love winter. Why? You like that you have to put on 17 layers of clothing to go outside. You like that once you come inside, the heater is on, and now you're sweating up a storm. You like that when you try and sit down in all your layers of clothing that you can't fit in a chair because of all the extra bulk on you. You like that you have to sit in your car for what feels like 45 minutes for the heat to kick in. You like not seeing the sun for weeks at a time. Well, I don't. When is this global warming thing going to kick in and make it 75 and sunny in the winter? How much more pollution do I personally need to cause until I can get to that point? Because I am ready to do what it takes. Well, people in Phoenix, Arizona saw something they haven't seen since mid-July, a cloud. Camera and news crews rushed to the scene to wonder what the cloud was doing there. Could it be the sign that the 100-degree days of summer are over? Meteorologists in Arizona are still scratching their heads as to what could have caused this cloud. Not one of them predicted the cloud that appeared at around 2 in the afternoon. The Phoenix airport experienced hundreds of delays as pilots weren't sure if the cloud was an act of terrorism and that their plane may explode if they fly through it. The cloud eventually disappeared without a trace around 2:45 in the afternoon. Arizona Governor Jan Brewer said, "We are doing everything we can to figure out this situation. Your taxpayer dollars are hard at work here, and we will find an answer to this mysterious formation in the sky." No word yet on the progress of the investigation. Well, that's your weather report, and remember what Marco always said. If you don't like the weather, move. And remember, it's always sunny in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, I'm going to toss it over to my replacement for this year, a weirdo.
Well, hello, Marquette. My name is Zumi, and welcome to MU 180 Sports. Let's talk about our sports to kick off this season. Marquette women's soccer team lost to Illinois State 2-3, and the men's soccer team lost to Michigan State 2-0. Well, one thing we know is that they're both consistent. Talk about looking forward to the basketball season. Now that is something to post on Facebook and Twitter. Let's move on to golf. Tiger Woods is 5th place for the PGA Tour, but no one cares about the first 4 rankings or the rest of the rankings, just Tiger Woods. I mean, he's dating Lizzie Vaughn. Who wouldn't want to put a hole-in-one on her? Well, Floyd Money Mayweather won just that, $100 million in his fight against Canelo Alvarez. If it was me and $100 million was on the line, Alvarez would have been knocked out in the first round. Just saying. How about Alabama and Texas A&M? Now that was a game. Alabama won 49-42, but it's okay. Johnny Manziel is going to continue his clubbing, drinking, getting paid for autograph like nothing changed. He's a wrecking ball. I guess him and Miley Cyrus will get along just well. For all the Packer fans out there, Green Bay won against the Washington Redskins, 32-20. I bet the Redskins wish they had a discount double check. Now it's time for the part in my segment called Unusual Sports. Sports that you may not even know exist. How about bed racing? Yes, you heard correctly, bed racing. The sport of bed racing has been embraced by the people of the North Yorkshire town of Knaresborough, who hold the annual Knaresborough bed race. The first race in 1965 was only open to the Army, Navy, and American Marines, but now the competition is open to anyone. The competitors race in teams of 6 plus 1 on the bed. Each team must provide their own bed decorated in the theme for the year. The bed runs on 4 wheels but also need to be able to float, as explained below. The 3K race begins and ends on Cunningham Hall. About halfway through the run, the teams face the 1 in 5 granite climb to Castle Top before it's back down the hill and towards the final challenge, crossing a river. Talk about pulling an all-nighter. I'd rather sleep in my bed, but other people prefer to race them, and that's fine. Well, folks, if you really like eggs, you can also join egg racing. Forget eating them. That's for normal people. Let's race them. Usually during Easter, people gather in a small town in England just to race eggs down a hill. I wonder if that's a new way to make our omelets. Well, that's it for unusual sports. Maybe the next big thing is using pancakes as frisbee. Who knows? Well, folks, if you really like eggs, you can always join egg racing. Forget eating them. That's for what? What? Okay. Well, that's all, folks. Toss it back to Zach.
Very insightful, Omani. Well, now we're going to toss it off to our new social reporter, Catherine. Take it away, Catherine.
Well, so it's a new and exciting year here as freshmen as we get to experience everything here at MU for the first time. Being a freshman myself, I have picked up some really awesome tips from some super nice sophomore boys I met at Schroeder. Tip number 1, make sure you wear your Marquette lanyard at all times as to never lose it. And as a girl, make sure it's pink. You get pink pepper spray, just to be careful, and tack it on there too. Tip number 2, travel in large groups or packs when you go out so everyone knows you have tons of friends, and then they will totally let you into their party. And also, as a way to keep safe, make sure they're primarily freshman boys. Tip number 3, now your parents are paying a lot of money for your meal plan, so eat everything. And take advantage of the unlimited swipes. Also, in the dining hall is a great place to meet people, especially possible suitors. So be in there all the time eating. And don't go to the gym, because I heard it's like super dirty and sweaty and it's just gross. Tip 4, final tip today is not only to impress your teachers and the people in your class, sit up front, ask loads of questions, and don't be afraid to talk to your professor before and after class. Tip 5, don't go on Netflix, you will never get off. Tip number 6, when you go out, make sure you make a ton of pictures and put them all on Facebook. So all the people in your high school who thought you were a total freak and had no friends can just shut up, okay? Well, anyway, so there you have it. Just some helpful tips for all the freshmen out there looking for a helping hand. I'm Catherine Reynolds.
Well, that does it for the first show of the season. I'm now going to send it off to my identical twin, Larry, who's in the field with a special report. Take it away, Larry. Hey, Marquette. We're going around asking freshmen about the mysteries of their dorms that they might not necessarily know. So you live in Abbotsford?
Yep, I do, 3rd floor.
What's your name?
Jonathan Frigo.
Joe?
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know about the bomb shelter that's below Abbotsford?
No, I do not.
I know they told you not to tell us, but where is it?
I don't know where it is.
So apparently, like during your first floor meeting, they let you know, but like whole series of things going on. So like if rest of Marquette campus is obviously going to flood to Abbotsford, is it like 10 stories below, like 5 stories below, like where?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Just more Marquette secrets. They're just trying to hide from us. Anything you want to tell us about Abbotsford?
It's a great place to live. A lot of social activity. Pretty fun.
And a bomb shelter. The weird thing is, although no one's coming out of the doors, you can actually hear them in that window right behind us that's open. And you can hear that they're plotting how to get down to the bomb shelter in case they need to, and how to keep the other dorms out. So you can tell that they're strategizing. They're even giggling at other dorms just passing by like they're not going to be safe. So you've all been warned. Bomb shelters in Abbotsford. Time needs to strike. You better race here, and they're not going to let you in. Now we're in front of Schrader, also known as Schrade Skis, and you can see it's a pretty big building, and because it's a big building, you know that there's a helicopter pad on top where they're going to install one, so we're going to make sure, we're going to find out who is actually coming in. Is it going to be Obama? Is it going to be like Al-Assad coming in to do a treaty? Or is it going to be the president of the Bike Association? It's going to be someone. We'll find out. All right, what's your name?
Alyssa.
And you live in Schrader?
Yes, I do.
All right, so what can you tell me about the helicopter pad on top of Schrader?
Oh, it's nice and luxurious. It's very a nice thing to have on our building.
Are you guys expecting any special guests to arrive, like President Obama or like Al-Assad to make like a treaty or something, or what are you guys gonna do?
I'm not really sure. I'm not really in the loop with that stuff, but I heard that I think President Obama is coming next week, right?
That makes sense, because there's a bomb shelter below Abbotsford, and did you know that?
No, I did not.
Okay, so like if the White House falls, President Obama's going to just land right on top of here, because this is a bigger building, and he's just going to go right underneath Abbotsford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. All right, well, at least I know now. I can direct Obama, hey, just go that way.
I'm sure they're going to pay good money for someone to help with that.
Oh yeah, I would love to make some more money.
All right, thanks a bunch.
You're welcome.
We're standing in front of Victor, Victor McCormick, and you know what this dorm kind of looks like? Kind of looks like a beer can. So we're asking, all the incoming freshmen or freshmen that already live here, where is the secret stash of this beer? We know it's in there. Where is it? Are they going to start selling it, making a profit? What is their plan? We wait and find out for the victims that walk through those doors and have to answer my interview questions. All right, what's your name?
I'm Jack.
And you live in McCormick?
I do, 9th floor.
Nice. So, what does the shape of McCormick look like to you?
Well, some say it's in the form of a beer can, but I think it's more of a cylindrical shape, personally.
So since it looks like a beer can, apparently there's like a huge supply of beer in the basement.
That is not true. I have not seen or witnessed beer. Okay.
So all the beer's on the 9th floor?
Apparently, yes.
Okay, so when the RAs, come in and have to, they bust stuff up, apparently they have to do something with it, right?
Right, yeah. I'm not sure what they do with that stuff.
Because I guess they're selling it to Abbotsford, and apparently they're getting it. So apparently all the beer that you guys bought is going to Abbotsford. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel betrayed in some ways, but it's kind of understandable. If they're trying to make some quick cash, I guess that's a good way to do it.
That it is. Any last words?
If you're looking for a good time, come to 9th floor McCormick.
Awesome. Thanks a bunch.
No problem.
Well, there you have it, Marquette. All the weird stuff that goes on around campus. Some people did not want to tell me the truth. Obviously, they were threatened if they spoke to the news about the reality, but some of them apparently did not hear that and were willing to tell me all the secrets of McCormick, Abbotsford, and Schrader. Until next time, stay safe. All right, that's it for MU 180 in our first week. Thank you to Larry and whatever the sports guy's name is, and Catherine. We'll be back next week with MU 180. See you then.